They were warned. One rule, one boundary, and they broke it anyway. At first, nothing happened. No police, no screams, no consequences. Just silence and a secret everyone agreed to hide. But secrets don't stay buried forever. Because one night, a single mistake exposed the truth. And suddenly, the family that once ate dinner together was sitting in separate rooms, afraid to look each other in the eye. What really happened behind those closed doors? Who broke the rule first, and who paid the highest price? Stay with me till the end, because this wasn't an accident. It was the moment everything began to fall apart. I never thought I would be the one telling this story. I was always the quiet one, the one who followed rules, the one who believed rules existed for a reason. But families don't fall apart all at once. They crack slowly, and by the time you hear the sound, it's already too late. This is how it started. There was one rule in our family. Just one. Never involve outsiders in family matters. My father made that rule years ago. He wasn't a bad man. He was careful. He believed problems stayed small if you kept them inside the house. No police. No courts. No neighbors. No strangers. Once outsiders step in, he used to say, you lose control forever. We all nodded. We all agreed. And for a long time, it worked. We were not rich. We were not poor either. Just a normal family living a normal life. My father worked long hours. My mother held everything together. My younger sister, Aisha, was the light of the house. Always smiling. Always joking. Always trusted. And then there was me, the older brother, the observer, the one who noticed things but didn't speak. That was my first mistake. It started with small changes. Aisha coming home late. Her phone always on silent. Her laughter quieter than before. My mother noticed too. Mothers always do. She's hiding something, my mother whispered one night. My father shook his head. She's grown. Let her breathe. I wanted to speak. I felt something was wrong. But I stayed quiet. Because we had a rule. And rules meant peace. One evening, everything shifted. It was raining. The kind of rain that makes the city feel heavy. Aisha came home soaked. Her eyes were red. Not from rain. She went straight to her room. No greeting. No smile. My mother followed her. 10 minutes later, I heard crying. Not loud crying. The kind that tries to stay hidden. I stood outside the door. I listened. I shouldn't have. But I did. Aisha was saying one sentence again and again. I didn't know it would go this far. My mother kept asking questions. Aisha kept saying nothing. That night, my mother didn't sleep. Neither did I. The next day, my father found out. And when he did, the house went silent. Aisha had trusted the wrong person. A man who promised help, protection, a future. He took advantage of her fear, her confusion, her silence. There was no dramatic violence. No movie-style scenes. Just pressure, manipulation, threats. Real life doesn't shout. It whispers until it suffocates you. My father listened without interrupting. His face didn't change. When Aisha finished, he said only one thing. No one else will know. My mother protested. This is serious. My father looked at her sharply. We handle this ourselves. The rule. That night, the rule became heavier than love. My sister stayed inside the house for days. She stopped going out, stopped talking to friends, stopped answering calls. The man kept calling. Unknown numbers, blocked numbers, different phones. I saw fear return to her eyes. One evening, she came to me quietly. Bye, she said, barely above a whisper. He says if I tell anyone, he will ruin us. I wanted to go to the police. I wanted to break the rule. But my father stood firm. If we involve outsiders, he said, we lose everything. So he decided to confront the man himself. No police, no legal steps, just a private meeting. That was the moment I felt something crack inside me. Because rules don't protect you from people who don't follow them. The meeting happened at night. My father didn't tell us where. He didn't want witnesses. He came back late. His hands were shaking. He won't bother her again, he said. My mother looked relieved. Aisha cried. I didn't feel relief. I felt fear. Because the man didn't look scared when he passed me near the street later that week. He smiled. Not a friendly smile. A knowing one. 2 weeks passed. Then the messages started again. This time angrier. Threatening. My father lost his temper. He thinks we are weak, he said. He made another decision. A worse one. He planned to scare the man. Really scare him. I begged him to stop. I told him this wasn't right. This is how things spiral, I said. He looked at me and said something I will never forget. Rules protect families, not fear. That night, he crossed a line. And once that line was crossed, the rule we trusted became the weapon that destroyed us. Because when something went wrong, very wrong, there was no one to call. No police. No help. No turning back. Only silence. And guilt. And the beginning of a crime we never planned. I still remember the sound of the door closing that night. Not a slam. Just a soft click. My father didn't say goodbye. He never did when he was angry. My mother stood near the window, pretending not to watch. Aisha sat on the edge of her bed, hugging her knees. Her eyes followed every shadow outside. I wanted to go with him. I should have gone with him. But I stayed back, because I thought he was still in control. That was my second mistake. The plan was simple. Too simple. My father wanted to scare the man enough so he would disappear. No violence. No drama. Just pressure. Men like him understand fear, my father said. They only stop when they feel it. I didn't agree, but I didn't stop him either. The rule was still standing. Handle it inside the family. Midnight passed. Then 1 o'clock. Then 2. My phone buzzed once. An unknown number. One missed call. I felt a cold wave in my chest. I tried calling my father. No answer. My mother noticed my face change. "What is it?" she asked. I shook my head. Nothing. Another mistake. At 2:47 a.m., the police knocked on our door. Not softly. Not politely. Hard. Loud. Final. My mother screamed. I opened the door with shaking hands. 2 officers stood there. Their faces serious. Professional. "Is this the home of Mr. Ahmed Khan?" one asked. I nodded. "There's been an incident." That word. Incident. They didn't say accident. They didn't say misunderstanding. Incident. My father was at the hospital. Alive, but barely. There had been a fight. Things escalated. Someone fell. Someone hit their head. The man. The one who threatened my sister. He was dead. No one planned it. No one intended it. But intentions don't erase outcomes. At the hospital, my father lay silent. Bruised. Bleeding. When he opened his eyes, he looked at me. And he cried. I had never seen my father cry before. "I didn't mean to," he whispered. He slipped. The police stood outside the room, waiting. They asked questions. Careful questions. Sharp questions. "Where did you meet him? Why? Who knew about this?" My father stayed quiet. The rule again. But this time, silence wasn't protection. It was guilt. They arrested him before sunrise. My mother collapsed. Aisha screamed my father's name until her voice broke. I stood there numb. By morning, neighbors were whispering. By noon, rumors were everywhere. A man dead, a father arrested, a family exposed. So much for keeping things inside. At the station, they separated us. They questioned me for hours. "Why didn't you report the threats? Why did your father meet him alone? Who else was involved?" I wanted to scream the truth. Then my sister was scared. Then my father was trying to protect us. That one rule pushed us into a corner. But rules don't matter in interrogation rooms. Facts do. That night, Aisha finally told everything. To the police. To strangers. She cried so hard she couldn't breathe. The rule was broken. Not by choice. By force. And when it broke, it shattered. My father was charged. Not murder, but something close enough to destroy his life. The man's family wanted revenge. They claimed it was planned. Then my father lured him. Truth got buried under anger. We hired a lawyer. Sold jewelry. Borrowed money. Every visit to the jail took something from us. My father looked smaller behind bars. Older. "I wanted to protect you," he kept saying. I couldn't look him in the eye, because protection turned into destruction. Aisha stopped speaking. She blamed herself. I blamed myself. My mother blamed everyone. The house felt empty even when we were together. And then, a new fear arrived. The man's brother started coming around, standing across the street, watching. Revenge doesn't announce itself. It waits. One evening, I found a note near our door. 3 words. "This isn't over." I knew then. The rule didn't just destroy our family. It invited something darker inside. Something we couldn't escape. And the worst part? The real consequences hadn't even begun yet. After the note appeared, None of us slept properly again. Not because of noise, but because of quiet. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow felt closer. My mother started locking the doors before sunset. She checked them twice, sometimes 3 times. Aisha stopped going near the windows. She kept the curtains closed, even during the day. The house that once felt safe now felt like a cage. The lawyer told us to stay calm, to avoid contact, to let the law handle it. But law moves slowly. Fear moves fast. The man's brother, Imran, became a regular sight. Always across the street. Always pretending to be busy. Sometimes he would stare directly at our house. Not angry. Not emotional. Empty. That was worse. One afternoon, I came home early from work. As I opened the gate, Imran stepped closer. "You're the brother," he said calmly. I nodded. He smiled slightly. "Families should teach their members rules," he said. "Yours forgot." Then he walked away. I stood frozen. He wasn't threatening me. He was reminding me. That night, Aisha broke down. "I can't do this anymore," she cried. "This is my fault." I held her as she shook. For the first time, she said what she had never said out loud. I wanted to go to the police from the start. That sentence hit me harder than anything else. All of this, because of one rule. The court dates started coming, each one heavier than the last. The prosecution painted my father as a violent man, a man who took the law into his own hands. The defense tried to show him as a desperate father, a protector. The truth sat somewhere in between. My father spoke to me during a jail visit. If I had broken the rule earlier, he said, maybe I'd still be home. I had no answer. Then came the night everything almost ended again. It was close to midnight. The power went out. Complete darkness. My mother lit candles. We sat together in the living room, quiet. Suddenly, we heard a noise from the back door. Not loud. Careful. I felt my heart stop. Another sound. Metal scraping. Someone was trying to break in. My mother started crying silently. Aisha clutched my arm. I picked up the only thing nearby. A heavy wooden stick. The door shook. Then a voice. "Come out," Imran said. "Let's talk." I shouted that I was calling the police. He laughed. "Now you remember outsiders?" The door stopped shaking. Footsteps faded. The next morning, we found a symbol scratched onto our door. A warning. We finally did what we should have done long ago. We reported everything. The police took it seriously this time. They increased patrols. They warned Imran. But damage had already been done. Aisha's mental health collapsed. She stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. One day, I found her sitting on the bathroom floor. "I don't want to be the reason everyone suffers," she said. I sat with her for hours. Talking. Listening. I promised her something. "This ends with us surviving," I said. Not breaking. The trial moved faster after the threats were reported. Then, something unexpected happened. Imran was arrested. Not for threatening us. For something else. Turns out, his brother wasn't the only criminal in the family. There were previous cases, hidden complaints, other victims. The picture changed. The man my father confronted wasn't innocent. Not even close. That truth didn't bring relief, but it brought balance. At the final hearing, the judge spoke clearly. This was not premeditated murder, he said. It was a tragic result of fear, silence, and poor decisions. My father was sentenced, but not forever. When I saw him being taken away, I felt something strange. Not anger, not relief, understanding. The rule didn't fail us. We failed to question it, and families that don't question their rules end up trapped by them. The walls were still there. The furniture hadn't moved much, but something important was missing. Trust. He walked in slowly, like he didn't belong, like a guest in his own life. My mother tried to smile. It broke halfway. Aisha stayed in her room. I hugged my father. He held me tightly, too tightly. "I'm sorry," he said into my shoulder. "For everything." I wanted to say it was okay, but it wasn't. So I said nothing. That was the first honest moment we'd had in years. Life didn't suddenly become normal. It doesn't work like that. People in the neighborhood still whispered. Some avoided us. Some stared too long. My father tried to find work. No one wanted a man with a record, even if the truth was complicated. He started fixing things around the house instead. Broken shelves, loose doors, as if repairing what could repair us. Aisha took the longest to heal. She finally agreed to see a counselor. At first, she didn't speak much. Then one day, she came home and cried. Not from pain, from relief. They listened, she said. They didn't judge. Outsiders. The word felt different now. One evening, months later, we sat together for dinner. The first real one since everything happened. The food was simple. The silence wasn't heavy this time. My father cleared his throat. There's a rule, he said slowly. I thought it would protect us.